so that's the end of that.
That's crazy.
What? You don't like Vero?
No, you don't like girls. I'm sorry to hear that.
I love Vero. What? The hell? Hey.
King, you don't actually say I'm sorry to hear that in the real world all the time,
Oscar,
do you?
listening to you, like yesterday I was at work, so I'll be on Clubhouse and it'll just be going in the background sometimes. And I literally can't talk to y'all. Like, I can't do it. And you were yelling at, or it was like this black man's voice that I could hear. And it's like, that sounds like Oscar. He was like, whatever, like, fuck you, T. Rob, but like coming in hard. Rob T? Yeah.
And I think you're a lovely person, and that's Thank just you. My opinion. So I'm going to shut up now, but yeah.
You know what? I have spoken to Kai a long time ago. We share the same thoughts. We actually, first of all, if there is God, why is not like giving us a better life, right? Why is these people suffering a lot?
Because there is no God.
Thank you. And if there is
or there's a God that's kind of evil.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Or there's a God that's kind of evil. Right?
You know what? Yeah.
What if God became the universe?
Yeah, what if?
Isn't
so smart.
Isn't though certain parts of the Bible to say that God is cruel?
Yeah, I think it's easy to say that God has at least some good plans.
It's not me saying it. I'm just saying certain people would. I'm saying certain parts of the Bible would say, well, God is cruel because he wants people to do what they're going to do. I don't obviously agree with that. I just think if you're, again, all-powerful, you look after innocence.
Yeah, I agree. If you're an all-good God, yeah.
Yeah.
But so, if you're a vengeful, jealous, narcissistic God, right?
So
it could look. I could finish a sentence. If you're a vengeful, narcissistic, kind of evil God, it could turn out like this, right?
Yeah. And I've had arguments say exactly as you just said. So.
Hey, Honey Badger, have you ever heard of pantheism?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I think it's indistinguishable from deism. Because you can't distinguish the God from anything else. So, like, what are you even comparing it to? So it's just a concept.
Yeah, doesn't deism say that God is outside of the universe, though?
I think panentheism says that it's outside and a part of, or maybe... And pantheism just says that God is the universe. Like, the universe is God.
Yeah. And then pantheism says that God became the universe, so it's kind of the same thing as pantheism. Except, pantheism has an origin of the universe. So you don't believe in an origin of the universe? Like,
what do you mean?
You believe in, like, the energy soup, stuff like that, before the Big Bang?
Dude, I'm not a physicist, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I kind of like...
Dude, look, all these things are just concepts anyway. Like, even thinking of just quarks and leptons and even, like, atoms are all just concepts, dude. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Could I just ask a quick...
Are you, like, anti-theist, though?
In a way. It depends on who I'm talking to. I mean, if you just admit that it's just things that you like and it helps your life, then that's valiant. But if you're going to tell me it's facts and you have some better knowledge than me, or I'm at risk of an unsavory afterlife because of your ideas are true, then we can scrap.
I see. Do you think there's value in the Bible?
Hold on a second, Kay. I tend to mute up when I'm not speaking, and then it sounds like you're just always off mute. And you're
it's okay. I'll go.
Okay.
All right. I'm being rude. Yeah. No, nice
Alright,
stuff you are, though.
Thanks. I've heard you do this before, so.
Thanks for coming down.
I'm sad now.
Why? She's just like, she can't help herself.
I mean, she was trying to get in, you know. It's not like we have like a talking stick here or something.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, look, I'm trying to set a tone, and I have Christian dance at the top. It's a speed freaking debate format, and she's just like interrupting and doesn't mute up when she's not speaking. It's like she always has something to say, and it's a little off topic.
I see.
It's a little bit like the female version of CN.
Yeah, a little bit. The rhythm was weird, yeah.
So is the esteemed moderators answering Christian questions, or are you guys fielding the questions to the audience?
Yes, there we are. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. How are you all doing?
We love having you here, because you know that.
Hypnosis is
John, can you help me with stocks, dude?
Wait, hey, Doge, can I put you back inside? Can I put you back down in the audience for a minute, and then you come up in like 5 minutes and do
Yeah,
your thing?
go ahead.
I fucking love it.
Go ahead.
But make sure you come back up, because I want to see how it's good.
Just
So
come back up.
randomly invite you back up in a little bit.
Below is above. Above is below.
When we get a couple people in here that don't know, wait a few minutes, and then if you like 5-10 minutes, come back up and do your thing, because I fucking.
That was cool that he came up, said his little thing, moved himself down to the audience, and is basically adhering to what you were asking, Tim. That's good.
He's the best. I really do like him.
So yeah, do you think there's value in the Bible?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a weird term, like a funny thing, right? And I'm sure Honey has a different thing. Like, there's lots of things that are valuable, especially if you have a large like text, right? You have lots of text with lots of stories, with lots of information, and of course, there are going to be things that are going to be valuable in the text. But do you just mean that? Is that what the question you're asking? Are there things in the Bible that are valuable, or do you mean overall, like? Do I find the Bible valuable simplicator?
Like, so two things. Like, number one, would you burn the last Bible? And then number two, do you think Christianity is good for society?
No, and
To answer your I know I would never burn the books of anybody. I want everybody to have texts. I'm not for that. You know, I wouldn't want anybody to burn my
truth.
Well, but I think that, the important thing is that bad ideas cannot be combated through censorship. Right? I think actually censorship of bad ideas perpetuates bad ideas. So the best, they say this kind of a cliche, the sunlight is the best disinfectant, right? And there's people that quarrel with that. But the idea, to me, like bad ideas are combated with good ideas. And if you try to suppress bad ideas, you end up making those ideas more powerful.
So I take.
How do you feel?
Can I answer real quick?
Yeah, T, go ahead.
I take value and worth to be intrinsically linked. Value is what somebody is asking for it, and worth is what I'm willing to pay for it. So when it comes to value in the Bible, I think that people see value in it, in that they look at it and they see moral stories. I would just point out that value is not exclusive to the Bible. There is no lesson that you can take from the Bible that you could not take more easily, with better reasoning behind it, with better arguments for it from a different source. And so in that regard, I would say the value of the Bible is intrinsically low when compared to other sources of wisdom.
I agree with that, actually.
Milk, are you a Christian, Milk?
I mean, I love Jesus, but I'm kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, you kind of take all of this stuff. Yeah. Okay. I know you're saying. Yeah, it's an interesting road to hoe. Most of the people in the room, not all of them, but most time when you're on Clubhouse, most of the people that are atheists were probably at one time or another affiliated with some religion, but because really that's just how parents are. Parents raise their children in some kind of faith. So most people start out somewhat religious in some direction. And then
I think pandeism is probably where I'm at now.
Pantheism, is that what you said?
Yeah, pantheism.
Can you explain that again?
That God became the universe and God is the all.
You just like that one?
What is your definition of God?
Because I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like you're taking like a fictional character and going, you know what? I'm going to redefine this fictional character as the universe, right? That's all I think you're doing there.
I respect it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It definitely could be like you're right, you could make it in a Marvel movie or something, he's a pantheist.
Captain Universe.
Yeah. It is cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, there had to be something that pushed time forward. And, where does intelligence come from? Why is the cell like a little machine? The fact that there is something rather than nothing. But, the problem of evil is where Orthodox religions fall flat. So,
well, I don't know about
pantheism makes sense.
I would just point out that those are circular questions. Right? You had 3 questions that you asked, like, why is there something instead of nothing? It's a good question, sure. But I mean, a lot of Orthodox religious people will just get out of the problem of evil by like redefining evil, and then that's going to solve the problem for them.
Yeah, I mean, like, I look at like the German women who were like into suicide after World War II. It's like, where is God for them? And then so that's why I believe that, we're all one with God and God. Like your finger is you and you're one with your finger.
That's deep, man. You get that off of a Deepak Chopra generator?
Nope. And another thing though, it's like Jesus kind of helps me cope with death. I mean,
does he? How?
Well, it's all good because this guy died for me, and I'm going to heaven no matter what, and he loves me and everything like that.
So you're not a pantheist at all. You're a Christian.
I'm a pantheist who loves Jesus. Do I think Jesus is like objectively true? There's a strong case that he's not. Like, there's a strong case that he might have never existed. Is he even the Messiah? Well, he hasn't ruled the world from Israel yet, so no.
Infinite.
He hasn't proved it and all this stuff.
If Caleb were dead, I'm sure he'd be rolling in his grave right now.
Why are you so condescending, man?
I'm not. I'm poking fun at Caleb, who's a good friend of ours.
That's fine. But I don't know. It's like everything I've been saying, you've just been like laughing at me. And my feelings are hurt a little bit.
Well, I didn't think anything that you said was especially serious.
I mean, I respect it. I don't know though, like you just think like everything just happened by chance, like the beauty of a sunset and all the rest.
No, I don't think that at all.
Like the laws of physics, how everything is like finely tuned and stuff.
Well, I think the laws of physics were very much invented by people like Newton, Einstein, stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, we're both right, but yeah.
Like, take, for example, Einstein's law of, Newton's law of universal gravitation, F equals, little g equals m1 times m2 divided by d squared. times big G or whatever it is, right? That's an example of a law of physics, and it's something that humans come up with. They're not very special.
Well, for example, like if we were, a little bit closer to the sun, we would burn up, or a little bit farther, it'd be too cold. You think it just kind of happened by chance?
Well, no, I don't think it happened by chance. I think we adapted to the situation that we're in. And if we were a little bit further away, then life as we know it would be very different because it would have adapted to a different situation.
So you believe in macroevolution?
No, I just understand biological evolution.
So you don't believe in macroevolution?
No, I don't believe in creationist bullshit, right?
So you do believe in macroevolution?
No, macroevolution is creationist propaganda against actual biological evolution. In biological evolution, there's no such thing as macroevolution. It's completely a creationist term that was invented.
Has there ever been observable one species turning into a different species?
Yes, of course. Do you understand the process?
Like, I genuinely want to believe in macroevolution. I'm just not convinced.
I already told you that there's no such thing, right?
Well, there is. I mean, macroevolution is one species turning into a different species.
No, again, that's speciation, not macroevolution.
It's two different terms that mean the same thing.
No, they don't. Because because macroevolution is supposed to represent change at, a bit beyond the species phylum. But of course, that's ridiculous because that's not how phylum changes actually occur, right? That's why macroevolution is total bullshit, is it has nothing to do with the actual method of evolution.
What is a phylum?
So Linnaeus came up with a hierarchy of genetic inheritance, right? So you start at like the lowest level of the species, and a species is a grouping of organisms which are able to produce viable offspring, which are in turn able to produce viable offspring, right? So then you have, and as a result of having species, you have speciation, which is the process by which new species come about. So when multiple species are descended from the same ancestral group, we call that a genus? I think that's a genus, yeah. And so then when multiple genuses are all descended from the same ancestral group, we call that a order, I think. It goes genus, order, something, all the way up to the kingdom, and then the domain of life, right? So it's just a way of organizing the hierarchy of genetic genetic inheritance. Now, the idea behind macroevolution is that there's supposed to be jumps from an order to a species. But of course, that's not the process of evolution. The only process in evolution that occurs is speciation, which is why macroevolution has nothing to do with actual biological evolution.
And what exactly is speciation?
Speciation is the process by which new species emerge. Specifically, there's a number of ways in which it occurs, but one of the most common ways is is called I forget the name of it, philo something or other. Basically, what happens is during the reproductive cycle, there's an error in the genetic recombination process, and a chromosome gets duplicated an even number of times, like 8 or 16 times. So as a result, the child that's being created here in this process can't mate with its ancestor species because it has different chromosome lengths, right? Different allele lengths. But if the same error occurs in a different child, then those two children can create viable offspring. And so this is one example of how new species form. And it's so ridiculously common that most of the plants in your backyard probably came about this way.
So speciation is observable then?
Oh yeah, it's trivially observable. In fact, we've done lots of experiments with E. coli and fruit flies and stuff like that. in order to observe speciation. And the reason that we use those in particular is they have an incredibly short gestation period, like 2 to 3 days, rather than like, humans, which take years to make new offspring. And so we can really fast forward the whole process in that way and observe it on a human time frame, because the whole thing's happening every couple of days we're getting new offspring.
So you said it happens in plants. You said E. coli. Did you say fruit flies?
It happens in all genetic organisms. All genetic populations of organisms which undergo genetic recombination have the chance to change their allele mix. And in changing their allele mix, they would create a new species. And it happens all the time. And the reason that it hasn't happened to humans yet is we keep on mixing up our genes. We keep on sharing around our genes and keeping our gene pool current. But the minute that we do something like, go to Mars, and then we have several hundred generations of humans on Mars, those eventually would become a new species which would not be able to mate with the Homo sapiens back on Earth. And that would be examples of human speciation that has yet to occur.
Is E. coli a multi-celled organism?
No, I think E. coli is a single-celled organism, last I checked.
Has speciation been observed in multi-celled organisms?
I did mention the fruit flies.
You said plants. Fruit flies?
Yeah, fruit flies. It is the way in which all species occur, right? So all species that are alive today happened because speciation produced them.
It's plausible,
We don't have a better explanation. The only explanation that we have is genetic reproduction and genetic inheritance. It's not like we have a magic wand, like we wave our magic wand, poof, new populations of genetic organisms appear. That's just not how it works. The only way it works is through genetic recombination.
Yeah, that kind of aligns with pandeism better, too, I think.
What is the supernal triad?
Yeah, I don't know. It is an awesome thing, though, how our planet, is the only known planet with life, right?
Well, that's expected. We would be separated from any other planets with life on them, not just by vast amounts of space.
System, something like that, right? And the idea is that you can still say things that are true. That's the problem. Men like you, Ike, and men that think like you, you're the cancer to society. Men like me, we're the solution. Go die, nigga. Now done.
All right.
I know you didn't.
It's my turn.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so a couple things I want to address. Number one,
She just son this nigga.
Wow. All right, so first things first, I misspoke, right? When I was referring to Puerto Rico, right? And Puerto Rico was not always a U.S. territory. It was, Richard, you got to get my dick out your mouth. Well, even before it was the Spanish, it was ran by the indigenous, which was the Tainos, number one. And that was before 1493. Number two, to this Seth Rogen Puerto Rican looking ass nigga, Abdil, whatever the fuck your name is, right? Nobody was trying to play Trauma Olympics with you. You inserted yourself in a conversation that had nothing to do with you because, again, they have a room on Clubhouse. I don't know if you know about it, but it's called the Foundational Latin Americans. If you want to cry and bitch and complain about your Boricuas, Boreras, you can do that shit over there. Again, y'all have your own space every day. Wednesday, we talk about white people. Tether Tuesdays. What the fuck? We have low-tier whites in the room every day crashing out. Talk about their lineage. We have the fucking piss-poor Irish, the dusty-ass Sicilians, the fucking hairy-ass Italians. We have low-tier white people in this room every fucking day wasting their time on bullshit-ass topics, right? I mean, the elite whites
are not even on Clubhouse because they're elite and they're doing elite shit, right? Not talking shit about dumb shit like politics, race, and religion. Now, Rich is one of those degenerate whites I'm referring to, right? So again, going back to Abdiel, no one was trying to play Trauma Olympics with you. No one wants to eat racist bacon, egg, and cheese from your Seth Rogen looking ass, right? Because you are crying because your lineage allowed you somewhere in fucking Southside Jamaica, Queens with other dusty fucking bum ass boogie down Bronxter ass niggas. That's nobody's problem but you, right? We want to talk about solutions. What are you gonna do instead of being Uncle Ruckus, the Puerto Rican version, like fucking Fourth, who looks like the fucking Predator off Alien versus Predator? No one cares. Every single time we try to have conversation when we were building, you could have did like the rest of the whites. You could have just left. And hope that when you came back, we weren't talking about how we can uplift the black community. But no, you wanted to sit here and talk like this and talk about your brother and your friend. Like, we give a fuck, right? Whenever you want to crash out and act like a coon, do that when fucking it's the time to, right? But I think it's very unfair for when we want to talk about things that pertains to the black community, y'all bitch and complain. When no one does it, when it's y'all turn to bitch and complain yourselves. That's the second thing I wanted to say. Now, the third thing I wanted to say, right, since we are talking about Trauma Olympics, in the last decade, there was a Puerto Rican fucking drug kingpin that was charged for trying to export over $1 million worth of drugs in the fucking in New York City. So it's not just the King Supremes and fucking all of these other quote unquote black drug things that people like to bring up. There were Irish gangsters, Jewish gangsters. Fucking, we know about the Italians that do the same shit. Puerto Rican, Hispanic, it's the same shit. Y'all just like to shit on black people because it make y'all feel good about y'all gutsy ass fucking ethnicity. So, like I said, I'll land here before people start hopping on my dick. Remember, I only got one, right? I don't care. Y'all can sit here and try to cope with Adiel, who's a grown ass man, right? But instead of you crying and bitching and complaining about growing up next to dusty ass black people making bacon, egg, and cheeses, do something for yourself. How about get off the app, wipe your ass, and stop flirting with fucking degenerate women as well? Thank you, and I land.
It's chopped cheese.
All right, next in the queue is Samoa, but I don't mind skipping him and going to concrete.
Damn, I just want to take a little bit of time just to reflect on what just happened right before Guava offered her submission. Guava said, "Bitch, nigga, it's on me." And the essay said, my bad. You right. Concrete, you there, bro?
Yes, sir.
Rest of the time's for you, bro. You got it.
All righty. Where are we? There's been so many moves in this conversation. I think it's now we're in the New York support and bash session. I don't know if we're going back to the black community. Are we staying on bashing New York and packing up these New York niggas? Or what are we doing?
I like the previous conversation.
The black community?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess, look, man, Louis, are you still of the position that if only the black man was a better man, women would act better and we would be able to like have families and blah 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 blah? Are you still of that?
Wait, no question. There's too many people left in the
Yes or
game.
no? It's a yes or no? Yes or no?
No question. Let's get this finished. It's a long ass queue. It's a long ass queue.
That's a 4-hour conversation. Bro, no, it's not simply put. I wouldn't put it as simply as that. That it's just on the black, like, men to like. It's just not just like, oh, if it weren't for the black men, then it would be better. No, it's not. I think the burden is on both counterparts.
Okay. All right, so I'll address that. And the problem, so look, man, believe it or not, government is a very, very very, very important important component of our existence, right?
So
I'm smoking a vape because I ran out of nicotine pouches.
yeah, okay.
You dimwits! I'm just kidding.
I mean, you were the one in the audience the other day when I was in a room saying, "Oh, you got smoked, you got owned, Badger." It's like just,
Yeah, right.
I was cooking. Yeah, I said you
Honey
got cooked.
Badger. Yeah, Honey Badger has like he's too sarcastic and has like
I mean, you can't.
too much
You
patience.
can't win against
I will pay
Andrew,
to
bro.
see this nigga.
what?
Yeah, right.
He smokes himself, dude.
Yeah, for real. Andrew, you just give him the rope and he hangs himself.
Nah, Andrew's a god, bro. Bring Doge up, though. It's time for a little troll action because no real Christians are in here yet.
Oh yeah. Okay, Doge is.
Oh, by the way, I
he
love
is a good
Catholicism. By the way.
time. I don't, bro. And my family's Catholic, and I had to tell them like, stop bothering me with that shit. When they want to do these little things and family prayers and all that shit, I'm like, no, count me out of that shit. Like, you guys have
Why,
fun.
though? It's nice to do. Like, why are you so opposed to it?
If you're so opposed to Jesus Christ, why do you look like Jesus Christ?
That's a fact. Keep it real.
Yeah, I don't look like Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is like me, man.
Oh, you mean Jesus Christ was a black woman? I guess you don't look like God. Never mind.
You're saying God's a black woman?
I'm saying I sat in a room today and I recreated a room called a Crazy Angry Black Woman in a Clown House. And for an hour and a half, a woman at the top of her lungs kept screaming out that she's God. And if it's not the funniest thing you've ever heard, I mean, tell me I'm crazy, but like listening to a group of black women screaming at the top of their lungs that they're gods is, to me, like, it's just neurotic behavior. But what's the difference between that and what Andrew does? It's all the same shtick. It's all fucking hypnosis communication.
Yeah, well, Andrew
It's comedy. It's euphemisms. It's metaphors. And it's retarded people who want to make you think it's literal. It's stupid people. Low IQ hypnotists.
John, you make me rock hard, bro. I just want to tell you.
I always thought you were a theist, Doge.
I'm both. I'm basically a linguist, meaning that I believe in the word, but it's basically just a linguistic dialectic debate or a therapeutic exercise. I mean, I've never seen an angel. I've seen a perfect 10.
That was a good one.
Crazy offer. John, can you tell me about stocks, man? Like, I'm tired of being broke.
I don't know, man. I'm totally out of the stock market now.
Wow.
Yo, isn't the stock market tanking?
It's so brutal, man. You think you know something, and next thing you know, the market takes it all away from you, and you're like, why did I think that? Like, what was I thinking? And let alone that it's difficult. It's difficult to trade. Like, there's no transparency. There's no speed of execution. You're doing it off your cell phone. You're not a professional. You're going up against multi-billion-dollar hedge funds that just suck you dry like a parasite.
That's a fact. I mean, you do know Doc, whose last name is Rothschild. You know, he could just take a My Ancestry test, figure out, you know, who he's related to.
Who cares?
And then get some money, and then he'll hit you with a bag, like a fat bag.
Hit me with a backpack. Listen, you know, anybody on this app who says they have money doesn't have money. Okay, if you haven't countered it yourself, it's all just communication hypnosis, and it's a waste of your time.
I mean, I think Doc did say though that like you were well off and stuff, and you do work for the government, so like I about 30% believe it.
Listen, you're rich. You're rich if you have wisdom. People who have a lot of money don't even have wisdom, and they're essentially just empty inside. They hate life.
No, I work for the government. I'm not rich.
I mean, hey, money answers all things. So
I know, but if you want to get money, it's easier to get God first. This is the thing that atheists people hate the concept of manifestation. Look at it's right on your dollar bills. The dollar bill, the $10 bill, the 20, the 50, the 100, the symbols on there, it's all Freemasonic, which is all essentially transcendental meditation. That's all it really truly is. It's a meditation. It's a therapeutic dialectic. And if you take it literally and you waste everybody's time it's telling them that it's literal, but you don't actually explain the symbols or the sigils or the hieroglyphics, you're never going to get the money because you're stupid.
What is transcendental meditation? Like, is that the way to riches?
It's essentially stop wasting your time and be personally responsible for yourself. And our culture is so fucked up in America today that people think that they're going to actually have a retirement by looking at TikTok all day long. It's the same thing with people on this app chatting all day long. There's no retirement for people here who don't already have shit set up. You're not going to get to where you want to get by having useless conversations all day long.
I mean, I agree. At the same time, though, like, I work full time and I'm in college, and it's fucking hard, bro. It is hard.
It's hard. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, I made money with I by the time I graduated high school, I had $100,000 that I personally made because I brokered tickets, sports, concerts. And then I had a publishing business who started producing books and selling books. You know, by the time I graduated college, I had, $150,000 and I had no debt. You can make money through communication, through publishing, through advertising. You have to be smart. You have to essentially know how to entice people to join your web of despair to give you their money. The same thing as Clown House. The super mod here is the fisherman or the spider, and we are his flies. Everybody's modded here. Anyways, the point is, it's communication. What do you think the dollars are? What do you think Federal Reserve does? What do you think a bank does? They're essentially actuaries or accountants and communication experts. That's it. They don't manufacture anything. So everybody's living in a communication industrial complex.
Yeah, I'm glad that, like, your entrepreneurialism worked out. I think it's only like 10% of people, like, it works out for them. Like, I tried to do the entrepreneur thing, and it didn't work out, and now it's like anything just sounds like too much fuckery. So that's why I'm in college.
I know, but you got to realize I was dishonest. I mean, I practiced deceptively, meaning there's a sucker born every minute. And there is a sucker born. I'm telling you, if you want to make money, you have to be deceptive. It's an unfortunate fact. And great fortunes have always been made with propaganda, misinformation, and deception.
Wow, that's some real wisdom. Because capitalism is capitalizing on someone else.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well,
that's why we should be communists. I'm just kidding.
It's impossible to say that we're capitalists. We're not. I mean, 35% of GDP comes from Congress and the Federal Reserve or more. We're not capitalists. We are communists, but we lie to ourselves and call it capitalism. It's not. We already are communists.
Speaking realistically,
we're like National Socialists without the race stuff.
No, we're closer to social democratic.
No, we're wealth redistributionists. Every day we are wealth redistributing. It's insane, but that's what we do. We're communists.
No, we're not.
Can you sell me a course how to make money? I mean, that's the wave.
That is the sucker born every minute. Give me $5, I'll show you how to make $5,000.
Serious. No, yeah, I was gonna say that when he was saying about in high school he was scalping tickets and shit, like, yo, you're either like born with that or you're not.
No, it's all based on who you meet in life. I would have had no clue about any of that stuff, but I met the right people. They were lawyers. Lawyers.
Is it from your dad's side?
No, my sister knew these guys, and they started a big business, and they made it big, multi-millionaires, and they're all retired. But people come from money too. People are born into tremendous wealth, and some of them end up being good people, and some of them end up drinking themselves to death. But if you have good parents and they programmed you well, there's a good chance that you're going to be just like your parents. I mean, I heard a girl on this app talking about how her father raped her for 10 years. And you're talking about the most bipolar, polarized person I've ever heard on this app screaming that she's God and screaming that men aren't shit. And it's, but then you hear that her father raped her for 10 years and you're like, damn, like talk about suicide or like, suicidal ideation. I mean, dude, when you grow up, do you want to live with those memories? I don't, and come on Clown House and talk about it. Is this the modern day therapy?
It is, and it's free. Besides, you're getting
Yeah.
your time away.
You can't go to a casino and talk to a slot machine.
It's true.
Yeah, Ali, I know what GDP is. I mean, I'm just making the point that Congress and Federal Reserve has given us a $40 trillion debt. And if you look at the market cap of Apple, and it's at $4 trillion, I think, or $3 trillion. The point is, Apple is a once in a lifetime miracle device. These cell phones are miracle devices, and we have essentially spent, 15 Apple corporations. And so I'm just wondering, like, it's actually theoretically and statistically impossible to pay back the debt because we can't just create a new Apple Corp or a new Google Corp and create that market capitalization to pay down the debt. It's just, this is a 20-year, because they're not stopping the spending. I don't know if you look at Thomas Massey's X account, but they're not stopping spending.
I mean, it was designed that way. Like, the Federal Reserve loans money to America.
Let me know when you want me to correct.
They figured it out.
No, I agree. I think that this is actually engineered to be a runaway train, and it's not responsible, but it is what it is.
It's not about that. It's so long as we have, unless Trump fucks everything up, as long as the world's reserve currency is the U.S., when your country owes quote unquote debt, you owe debt to yourself in your own currency. It's not like Colombia or Brazil.
I know, but you're making a wild assumption that the Federal Reserve and Congress and the taxpayers are all united.
No. I'm talking about just the
Federal Reserve is a private company.
Again, the simple fact that the world's Federal Reserve currency is the U.S. dollar at the moment.
I'm just saying they sold us. We've been sold. The American population has been sold as almost like slave debtors, because if we're paying $100 billion in interest monthly and all we're trying to do is get that $100 billion down to like $30 billion a month, we're still paying $30 billion a month in interest. It'll never stop.
No.
We have fucked ourselves. We've been sold. We're not free. We have no liberty basically anymore. It's actually all an illusion. It's like a slave matrix population.
No, this debt that you're worrying so much about is more of an illusion than what you're talking about. This is what
I see that too. I mean, the thing is, I'm trying to like hype it essentially in a way that No. I'm trying to use it as political content at the end of the day because it's all an illusion.
BRICS takes over and our debt we gotta pay in Chinese yuan. If we had to do that, then it's a huge problem. then you gotta come up with however many billions of dollars of debt you owe. But so as long as the world's reserve currency is your currency and the debt that you owe to yourself.
I know, but as an American, if you have personal responsibility, the point is if we were personally responsible, we would have a national surplus of like 10 trillion more.
Dude, we owe money to a private company. We owe money
Yeah.
to a private company. It's not.
Every American owes $600,000 to a global bank known as the World Bank, aka the Federal Reserve. And so with that type of understanding, why would you want to go to work 40 hours a week just to pay an international bank? I'm telling you, we are a slave population. We've been sold down the river into a pile of shit. And literally, we have no choice but to sit there and shovel shit.
I don't know
risk of being. Go ahead, Sim. Please go ahead and finish.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know how. Quick joke. I don't know how you haven't offed yourself if you really think shit is that bleak. Like, like we're so.
I wouldn't off myself. I'm just saying that shit rolls downhill. We may be in a pile of shit, but it gets shittier the deeper you go.
Look, CM, you just gotta watch the documentary Europa Last Battle, and then you'll understand how bleak the world really is.
No, I know how bleak the world is. What I'm saying is...
Not if you haven't seen the documentary. You don't know, man. You don't know what's in the know, man. You gotta know.
I don't even see the documentary. Alright, my bad, Ali. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to give at the risk of being pedantic, I'm sure all of you know about this, but it's just good that some of the numbers...
Wait, did you say pederastic?
No, pedantic. Well, never mind. At the risk of... No, you can look it up.
Yes, you did.
No.
What are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
That's fine.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be pedantic and call you a pederast.
Get a couple things, and I'm not trying to not make an objection one way or another, but it's good to kind of think about...
Well, you're an atheist, right?
What does that have to do with any economic discussion we have right now?
I don't know. I'm just teasing, Dr. Ali.
Okay.
Can you just get to the point, please?
Well, no. Well, I'm trying to, but you asked me a question. Yes, I am, actually. Yes, I am. But moving on with this, for example, let me just start with this. The GDP is gross domestic product, which is the total value of goods and services that a country produces each year. And so I don't know what aspect of it is the government or not. That's the definition of it. And ours is about $23 trillion each year. It goes up and down the last couple of years, few years by $1 trillion. That's fact number one. Fact number two, the budget of the United States, again, I'm really rounding the numbers up, it's about $6 trillion a year. And the IRS takes in about a little bit over $4.4 trillion a year. That is a budget deficiency of about $2 trillion. And we've been dealing with this for the last 12 years or so. If you do the math really quickly, 2 million multiplied by 15 years, you come up with $30 trillion, which actually is more than that right now, that the government owes. So that's kind of the simple arithmetic of the basic stuff. And the budget, as you well know, I may not be completely correct on this, 67% goes to the, I'm sorry.
What are you, like a gay atheist chatbot or something? We didn't ask for all these government statistics, Dr. Ali.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, America is an occupied country. But what are we going to do about it?
That's a different discussion.
You'll be called a Nazi, and that derails the whole movement.
Okay,
so just be happy with your life.
Well, we're not talking about the...
Yeah, be happy with your fill of mensif and shawarma and falafel. I mean, just be happy with your daily portion. You can't ask for two sauces. You only get one. What do you want, white or the red sauce? Which one do you want with your daily portion?
All right, I'm just going to carry So I was just trying to point out, because of course, again, as I mentioned, this is elementary, we all know about this. But the discussions here are so fragmented, coming out and over.
Well, what do you think? This is like a college curriculum where we have like a 3-page agenda or something? This is an impromptu conversation, Dr. Ali.
You're pulling this stuff out of your asses right now. Okay, just hold on.
Yeah, I'm pulling myself out of my ass.
Hold on a second.
Wow, that's
so, yes.
That could be a projection, Dr. Ali.
Well, yes, Professor. Yes, Professor. I hear.
I feel like we should send you an invoice for English language communication transfer here.
Anyway,
take a bow, Dr. Ali.
Professor, you take a bow in the opposite direction of me.
Just get to your point. I'll give you 30 more seconds before I kick you into the goo like a communist.
Okay. Okay, guys, that's fine. Anyways, Doge. I'm sorry. You don't deserve to be a Doge. Maybe a Doge is a good one. But the point is, you guys are discussing milk and you, Doge. you're not understanding what the hell you're talking about. You're not connecting the dots. It's just haphazard stuff that you're pulling out of your asses without understanding what the fuck you're talking about.
Is Jesus God?
You know, that's very typical of Dr. Ali to actually bring nothing useful to the conversation other than telling me that I'm ripping myself out of my ass and giving him nothing burgers of church. I think that's technically what he just did. Maybe all communication is projection.
Ali, there is a lot of weird fucking. He left. Yeah, he left. Alright, guys. I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah, I kicked him to the goo, and then he left. He just wants to dope up, to create that dopamine creation. It's a dope room, I gotta admit.
You know, John, I would like to meet with you and have some lunch sometime. But
This is your lunch meeting. What is it? People say this to me all the time. Like, if I came to Chicago, man, can we get dinner or a beer? I'm like, bro, the consultation's now. There's no difference. This isn't get your taco out now. Get your horchata out now. You know?
Well, I didn't finish because, I had my house robbed by a Mexican, so now I'm afraid of people. So
You've got
I probably will
fear.
never meet you. But if you sold me a course,
I could sell you a hypnosis course. That's the whole thing. Is I do want to try to do some type of MK Ultra hypnosis book or a programming course or something, because there are a lot of good documents out there that if you actually spend the time to read them, they would be very useful for your life. I mean, they're like crib sheets or cheat sheets or cliff notes. It could take you a couple months, or it could take you just 1 week. I mean, it just depends on how activated you get.
Book? I'll download it from archive.org.
I don't know. There's 10 good books, you know. What was that, Kay? Sorry, I got another room going. You could just read the Bible. I mean, that would be the best place to start, probably.
Me?
I have, not the whole thing, but that's a good start.
I mean,
the book of Proverbs is really great.
What do you think the percentage of the population is that's actually read the Bible from start to finish?
Dude, maybe 10%.
No way. It's got to be less than that. From start to finish?
Probably,
I mean,
right.
Fuck, are you kidding me?
Have you?
No, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that I erred in was I was reading the King James Version, and that is just ridiculous. It's a dead language. You have to, define a word in each verse. But I did read the Torah in the King James Version. Proverbs is probably the most useful book.
Yeah.
Have you read the Wisdom of Solomon, the Apocrypha?
I don't think so.
See? There's probably some gold in there.
What I'm saying is any book can put you into a hypnotic state. But some books are more revealing than others in terms of self or gnosis. And, I do them here. I put them on YouTube. I mean, I've been recording pictures of Donald Trump being preyed on and then reading essentially Kabbalistic video. Dude, and they're getting thousands of views and people are commenting this is the weirdest cultish thing I've ever seen in my life. Let me show you. Yeah, here. Prayer USA. Trump prayer.
Hey, do you know?
Watch this, dude. I mean, I kind of figured out a little formula here. It's not like I'm making money from this, but I've definitely figured out a way to hypnotize people. And it's even the way I'm singing it, because I'm chanting in these videos. But watch that video.
I love your chants, man. I remember you chanting to me one time. I actually appreciate it.
It's a nice thing, but you should try to do it yourself, because it's just playing music. You're using your body as the instrument.
I have chanted Hare Krishna, and it was nice.
Yeah, you need to try to get to a safe place every day. That's your zone of peace. And if you chant every day, you will create a zone of peace. It's your hour of power. It's same thing as going to the gym. Yeah. Get on the treadmill, man. I get on the treadmill for 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes is you know how many incredible thoughts I have during those 30 minutes? It's amazing when you
and You don't listen to music or
No,
podcasts?
I stare into the black screen on the television. I don't even turn the TV on, and it says Matrix underneath it. And I just sit there and I look at my reflection, and I sit there and I have like I do all my processing like a computer while I'm on the treadmill.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is good. I always tell myself I'm gonna get on a treadmill, but I never fucking do. But
You know what? You know how I do it now is I live stream myself on YouTube for 30 minutes on the treadmill, and that's my timer. And the comments that people leave are just so nasty. It's so funny. The negative comments people leave.
mean, dude.
Yeah, you
People
ugly
fucking
bald,
hate life.
you ugly bald piece of shit. Put a bra on, you ugly, like the meanest things. But that's their clubhouse. That's them getting their talk therapy in by projecting on my bald, Pepe face. I'm evergreen, man.
Right.
I'm evergreen. It's an attempt to be creative. If you want success in life, you have to be creative. There's no other way. You have to get into creative communication. Look at the Muppets. Look at Sesame Street. Look at all these businesses. Okay, talk to you soon.
You got a fucking piece? Put some PB&J on it. No. I'm sorry, you can fold it in half.
And all the back messages when concrete, you still can't come near the white man. No matter how hard you try, you can't beat this white man because you know what? I see right through you. You know why? Because you're fucking white. You're paisley white. You're whiter than any Irish, Scotsman, or Englishman that ever existed. You're whiter than fucking Frank. You are the whitest motherfucker on here. Because you know what? You are not of any lineage. You never had through any oppression. Your parents are white, and you try to pretend that you're actually thuggish black, when in fact, you're just fucking there. I bet he's
still talking. Tell him when I'm leaving. I'm leaving because I don't want to hear Spurg Monster Spurs.
Yo, you didn't get it. You didn't get your fill. I thought I filled your cup up enough. You got an infinite cup, huh?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, apologize and shit. My fucking coworker came and wanted PB&J.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, but we'll probably go into different rooms now and shit. Maybe get in here and troll some more.
I mean, let's do a roast room. I'll create a roast room. We'll call it the chocolate milk roast room or something. I don't know. I'll create a room.
All right, I'll join.
Okay, this is the Clown House roast room.
Clown House Roast Room World Premiere 2025.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Clown House roast room where we're gonna roast people. Welcome to the stage, Julia the trading bot. Milk. So just invite people to the room and then we will gradually and slowly create a simmering roast. I prefer to use butter.
What exactly is a roast room? Are we roasting people?
We just make fun of people. Yeah, we'd be cruel. It's your opportunity to be cruel.
Let's see here.
A good piss be upon Muhammad will hit the spot.
I actually like Islam, but it's like something about it just seems kind of lesser,
I like the polygamous aspect of it. It's got good components. It's just the racism, the warfare, like the polygamy to me is like what saves it. Because it's like, okay, it is kind of ridiculous. Like, why should we just have one wife? Like, why not have like 4 wives? This is crazy.
Yeah, that's in the Bible though. Polygyny is like acceptable. And everything, it's not the religion of my people. Like, what do I look like being around a bunch of sweaty Arabs in a fucking mosque? Like, that's not gonna happen. How do I invite people?
A sweaty mosque is technically just like a hot yoga class. That's all they're really doing. Because they get down on their knees, they do all these poses, they crack their back. That's what they're doing, and they're sniffing each other's farts, which is the most disgusting thing.
Yeah, I don't even know like how to describe myself, but like I'm afraid of non-whites. Like it's not exactly racist, right? It's like some kind of phobia.
I don't know, man, but I have seen so many dogs bark at black people, but not at white people, that I'm just like, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like, how the fuck does this? Why do I keep seeing dogs only bark at black people? Like, what the fuck is happening? How is that possible?
Yeah, but serious. Well, they only see black and white, right? So
are they extra black then? Like, what do they come through as like fucking the solar system or something?
Shadows.
Shadow detection system.
How do I invite people here?
Hit the share button. You're a real lazy clown house user. Then hit invite people.
Gotcha. I just go because here's the thing. I came back on this app just to constantly repeat, "You niggas are broke," because there was some woman here that said that one time, and it really stuck with me. Because I'm broke, so it's like manifesting and shit. But
well, see, it's stupid to try to do manifestation by just saying words like "I believe in the power of positivity" and how wealth from the universe will pour into my pockets. I mean, you could honestly, if you create a hypnosis script with ChatGPT and you did that and you read it, like it would be good programming for you, but it may not be good enough. But it's a place to start. I have a friend who's a software developer who spends all his time coding, but he never spends any time coding his brain, and thus he's like autistic neurotic and impossible to want to communicate with or to spend time with because he's such a net negative. So I don't know.
Wait, say that one more time. What is this deal?
He's such a communication net negative that he makes it basically pointless to hang out with him. He just becomes a charity case. I'm telling you.
That's probably better than a narcissist, though. Have you ever encountered?
Sure, I've encountered narcissists, but the thing is, it is about also making money. I mean, you might meet a narcissist who's got some great ideas, but it's truly the engineers and the coders who can do the heavy lifting financially in like a business partnership. But I mean, toxic narcissism on this app or in the workplace, like you're gonna meet those people, but it's really still a you problem if they're a problem for you. You're gonna meet the worst people in the world.
It was like a best friend of mine, and I fucking eventually separated myself from him. But it was a weird thing because it went from like I can be cool with everyone, everyone's I can be cool with them, to like holy shit, there's some people that are like, do not operate on the love everyone as yourself, software.
Yeah, that's the golden rule: is treat the neighbor as you would want them to treat you. And a lot of people who treat other people like shit, if you ask them what the golden rule is, they don't even know it, and you're like, oh, that's why you're an intentional asshole. So there's a lot of crazy people out there who want to try to force people into basically people are competitively reframing, and there's just a lot of really despicable nasty people who do competitive reframing, and then you're like, ugh, I hate people. It's, and the DEI stuff is crazy because we're all supposed to be operating off of English, and if somebody is in a position of power and they speak Ebonics, you're like, yep, we've got problems.
For sure. And I used to like smoke pot, but now it's like, if we're not making money together or like talking on Clown House, I really don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've essentially created boundaries or fences of communication, meaning like
Boundaries, yes.
But what it means is it's like you're gonna have to take a risk to cross over the boundary and come and communicate with me because I'm gonna record you. And if you say something stupid or you waste my time, it'll be less of a waste of my time if I'm recording you because that's what I'm going to be doing regardless. So I have a lot
It's
of
a really good tactic.
I have a lot of people that don't waste my time anymore because they don't want to be recorded, which is a great thing. Saves both of us our lives. You know, you do you, I'll do me. But by forcing them into a recording, I essentially eliminate a lot of wasted conversation.
I love that. So, you would run on the treadmill and live stream yourself, and people would just like hate on you for no apparent reason at all.
I mean, you come on Clown House, you get death threats for just talking about generic things. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for what people say. Everybody just is trying to be snarky, you know, but by filming yourself working out, A, you're using a timer, and B, you're creating content, and C, you're actually filming progress. Theoretically, you know, unless you eat it all away at the pizza parlor.
Hey, I'm gonna rub one out for you later. I'm gonna rub one out for you guys later. See ya. Love ya. I'm sorry, dude. I'm like leaving work right now.
What are you working, a butcher shop?
I'm a fucking dude. I suck shit for a fucking living because my life sucks right now. I got too many tickets truck driving, so now I literally suck shit. Like I'm a septic truck driver.
Damn, I've seen some big septic trucks. I'm just like, holy shit, those are big trucks.
Yeah, we suck grease and a lot of bullshit that doesn't even fucking matter that I don't want to repeat to you. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I just record. I'm a professional recorder. I've got a publishing business.
But yeah, like, how do you make money like that?
I just pray to the heavens like everybody else on this app. And, you know, the Shemayim sends down manna from heaven and it's social capital surveillance. Yeah.
Hey, can you give me like 5 minutes or you gonna join another room or what?
Yeah, just go ahead, leave, do whatever you got to do, and I'm gonna go
No,
explore.
I'm gonna stay. I'm just gonna mute up for like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's up to you, really.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be right back,
I'm gonna live stream another room.
All right, later.
It's like goofy.
I'm talking about. I'm the homie.
Hold on, if I have a cluster that is expired in December, and I still use it,
No, go it out.
Mustard is fine. Mustard is fine.
That's what I was. Are you guys?
Mustard is fine. And I say that is because mustard is like a European curry. That's our version of curry, and it's totally fine.
Tell your son where it's time.
I'm very. It is. That's literally what mustard is.
Yeah, I'm about to make knowledge get his.
Academics and Vlad, they all admit that they squares, and they saying the same.
Without a kid, facts.
And they saying the same thing. They got the same questions we got. Like, how are you not involved in this? And did you help the feds speed along these charges? Like, from your personal experience, can you tell us what's going on right here?
Yo, Stack City, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think it started years ago with that case in Texas, and maybe before that with, guess what? How did he get in the game? He got in the game through Reggie Wright, a cop, my nigga. You see what I'm saying? That's how he got in the game. Everyone says this, yo.
That's hilarious. See what I'm saying?
My nigga is fucking crazy.
Yeah. So the expected.
You can always tell who's not black. It's unbelievable. You can always tell who's black.
There exists an act such that f of x. So that means it's
$470 paycheck, dude. Jesus Christ.
It's not enough, man. You gotta get $1,000 a week.
At least, I mean,
At
even
least.
800 would be fine. But Jesus Christ. This is my purgatory though, right? For like
No, Clubhouse isn't purgatory. Clubhouse is hell. It's the abyss.
No, this job is purgatory.
Oh yeah, probably. Most likely, yeah.
But then also, like, just think about.
But it's better than hell. So the thing is, Clown House is if the lowest you can go is Clown House, it's only up from here.
And so I don't want to be it. So I try to speak the truth as I see it.
I mean, you know, I come out here when I'm like driving trucks and stuff, but it doesn't really matter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why do you come on Cloud? You record people.
Yeah. I've got like 10,000 plus YouTube videos up.
So basically, you made a bunch of money, invested it in stocks, and now you're just like chilling and you just record for fun.
Yeah, I just have fun every day. I mean, I don't need to work anymore. I have enough fixed income. I have a rental property. You know, I have a pension.
Man. Seriously, I'll suck your dick, bro. Just fucking show me the way. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I have no advice for you other than get a good book. I can make some recommendations. I would encourage you to read the book on this app. I would encourage you to go to the gym, get on a treadmill, lift weights every day, go to a yoga class, go jog at the beach, try to get laid on a Friday or a Saturday night at a cool bar in your area. And I have no greater advice than what I just told you. I have no super secret. All I can just say is all communication is hypnosis. There's no secrets.
I mean, what is like the practical advice, like the how, right? How do I get rich? Because that's all like what? Like,
You have to work on communication. I don't think there's any quicker way. And your body too. Body consciousness. You know, like, can you touch your toes? Can you go lift weights? What's your health like?
I'm overweight, but I did sprint today. I was racing a bunch, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, most successful people have great physical strength, and that propels them to be extremely efficient and highly optimized. It's like being a super predator. You know, if you're the fastest lion or bear, like, you're gonna survive. You know, the cohort. You're going to reproduce, and your lineage, you know, hopefully will continue the optimization.
It is good advice though, like on a metaphysical way. Even.
Yeah, body is metaphysic. It's material. So you have to look at yourself as like Mercury and mold yourself, you know, like liquid steel. I mean, even Arnold Schwarzenegger is still lifting weights. Nobody stops lifting weights. It just never ends.
You know, man, do you just go in these like black rooms and you're just like, these people are such fucking low level? Like, it's not just a coincidence that like 80% of black rooms still talk about like women and like couples, like, you know, us men, you know.
I know, but it's
y'all like
it's like a psychic hotline.
It's a pattern.
You got to understand, it's like a psychic hotline. 99% of all calls to a psychic hotline are always relationship advice. Is he going to come back to me? I'm so depressed. I'm so sad. I miss him. Like, am I going to find somebody? I'm so lonely. So those rooms are just lonely rooms. They're dopamine creation rooms. And what they're talking about is irrelevant, clearly. So it's actually more of just like the harpies wailing and crying, creating dopamine. That's what they're doing. They're doing cheap talk therapy with no actual dialectic therapeutical technique. It's a 1-800 complaint line for Schwartz. You know, that's what it is.
And what I'm getting at is that IQ differences are real, and like, you know, they are smooth brained. You know, they have less ridges in their brain and stuff.
Yeah, that's what people say, but really it's a question of large language database and glossary and vocabulary and concepts. And once you develop a very strong sense of self and you have an expansive conceptual database, you don't do what these people are doing. You talk about higher level concepts, which really are peace and equilibrium and harmony and joy and happiness. And so that's a toxic room that it's all based on the words. Just look at a word map or a word index and say, okay, these are the most commonly used words. Are they positive or negative? They're all negative. So, thus, all these people are just creating dopamine. They're not doing any real therapeutic dialectic work.
Wow, that was very well said. You're like a communication god, dude.
I'm Hermes, Trismegistus, that's what the caduceus is. It's a rod, connection to the higher levels of consciousness, So you can develop these things, but basically that's why I say just go to the gym and read a book, but don't use this app the way you're using it. Like use it as a way, in the same way that you would use a computer. Like feed it a book and see what happens. Like come on here and read a book and educate yourself. Raise your IQ by using this platform to record audio of you, educating yourself. It's a free tool. Nobody does it. I do it every day. It's on my YouTube, but I don't use this app anymore because it's pointless. There's nobody's using it. Like YouTube is where I get thousands and thousands of people listening to, my education.
It's fair. I mean, like, I've listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I guess I'm just kind of taking a break right now and just, like, really just observing people's level of fucking intellect. And it's just kind of crazy.
Well, what's fun is you can communicate with, 10 black women at the same time in a safe space. But in the real world, these conversations would not be happening, and I'm recording them.
Yeah.
So
just avoid them like the fucking plague.
It's an interesting experiment. Like this is the real fun. I'm telling you, people don't know how to have fun. People are depressed. They go to the casino. I say, haven't you heard about Clown House? You can troll, but nobody wants to troll.
Right. I don't know, man. I say we go join a different room.
Well,
what do you think?
Listen, this is the Talking Apes.
You said you weren't going to astrology.
The Talking Apes?
Yeah.
For 6 months.
What are you talking about? The black people?
You don't know this room?
I'm not even looking at the whole chart.
Him and 10. I thought him and 10 was going to kill themselves after that shit happened.
Like, the funny thing about it is, like, I never really looked at it at that point. But when I went through it with my students, I kind of showed them what was going to happen. It happened exactly the way that I mean, when I was out here talking to y'all,
You barely out of extra, nigga. You barely out of extra. You still auditioning, nigga. Anyways.
The fucked up part is this shit would happen in real life.
For something another grown man said. Like, that's not because guess what? If he called you something else that somebody else
This is
said,
real life, though. This is people, how they use their words.
There's nothing new under the sun.
This is exactly how they use their words in their real life. Like, the way I'm talking to you is the way I would talk to people in the workplace or in the street or anywhere. I mean,
you should be happy because I did pack up Concretia. I turned him into a white Starbucks.
Yeah, read more to get more words.
yeah, you have to. Your brain is a computer, and the more words you put in, what you're doing is taking an external memory card and plugging it in, and you don't have to memorize it, but you need to run the software and then keep going. Like I'm telling you, books. I'm surrounded by books in my house, and I know every single one of these things are hundreds of terabytes of information just waiting to be put inside of me.
Hey, do you print books?
No, I buy them on eBay.
Okay, because I got a lot of like forbidden books.
This fucking ugly slew.
But I want to print it in paperback.
Grass touching fucking
wildebeest. I just want to print it.
Fucking.
And it's like I could do it myself.
First of all, Jinx, what happened when I for him to open his big
I don't know. You go on eBay and you sort by price, you can get a lot of great books for $5. But I read a lot of philosophy.
And I lost my patience with her.
Yeah.
So then I
Psychology, philosophy.
So ever since
Who's your favorite philosopher?
a bully, even though I'm like 5'2", 120
Or like top 3.
Yo, King, she called Ashley kids crackheads.
I read a lot of Aleister Crowley, Marcus Aurelius, and other like esoteric occult.
Aleister Crowley is kind of worse.
Yeah, Crowley's, look at it from an English perspective. If you want to read a powerful English wizard, read Crowley. If you want to become a man of war or a man of wisdom, read Crowley. But you could also, if you're a faggot, you could also read Crowley too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's a faggot.
I mean, I think a lot of it is like really gay and also disgusting because like it's just. I think it's basically intentional vulgarity to try to like hype up the brain. It's like steroids basically because it's extreme. Like but it's very smart. But it's like what they're trying to do is engineer super soldiers.
Hey, John, I got a call. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Yo, I'm giving a general submission about the black community. I did say that the Republicans work against themselves. I guess that's what got him triggered. Then he started like aping on the mic during my submission. This nigga Knowledge let that shit happen. Give him time. When he got his submission, 2 fucking interruptions in, this motherfucker sent me to the goo, yo. He let Brad get all the his bro. Hey, I'm like, damn, bro. White privilege is special. White privilege is special, bro. Knowledge, you rigged the game like that, bro? Hey,
Knowledge, don't catch the bait. Knowledge, don't.
Damn, they kicked me from the room. They're like, don't let that free content leak no more. He using us. Fucking motherfucker recording us. Shit.
Any of the systems that exist right now and you were just programming from scratch, what would you like to do? In terms of, like right now, me and you want to stay in touch. Like, hey, Jeffrey, I'd like to stay in touch with you. Yeah, me too. Let's communicate.
Well, back when email was first
It's the worst fucking thing you ever go through.
A user on a system.
I ain't gonna lie.
Another would see, and they were basically on a shared file system, right? And people were going to a terminal.
Didn't do anything. As soon as I get my shit off, you want to do something about it.
He gave you 10
Fucking weirdo was so obsessed with me, bro.
inches.
Like, damn, bro, get over it, Guava. Get over it. Go back to the fucking gutter where you came from and go find yourself some happiness, bro. God damn.
Irish moss.
Damn, they kicked me again. Must be personal. That's what makes it so exciting.
No, that's Somali privilege.
Somali privilege?
Yeah.
I don't want to violate you, Ryan. I don't want to violate you, Ryan, but I want you to remember the back and forth that you had with that fucking gorilla and the shit that he said. And you over here sucking his dick. Amazing. King, you was there? King, how could you be there? Yo.
Look at how he instigated. You don't even get your one-on-ones clean. You want to involve another nigga. Fight your shit clean, 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 nigga. Nigga. Fight that shit clean, nigga. Get in there clean, nigga.
Guava is like the friend we
5 days later want to
fight your own shit, nigga. Get into the ring by yourself, nigga. Stop trying to bring up shit, you chatty patty ass nigga.
Hey, Kate, when are you gonna go back to the ghetto? We're tired of you in the suburbs. Go back to the ghetto. When you gonna check that engine light? Go back to the ghetto. Check that engine light, nigga. Go back to the ghetto. Check that engine light, nigga.
He said for us to call him a certain name. What was his name before he left?
Concrete.
Barista.
Yeah,
Barista.
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 Lion is riding.
Barista. Barista. Barista vida.
Lion, why you on that line? Come on, man, bro.
Barista vida.
I would have never violated you like that, Lion. You want to sit on his lap. Lion, I would have never violated you like that in a million years. I don't care what you do, what you say. And you sit over here sitting on that man's lap.